Imagine what's possible when learning doesn't get in the way of life. At Capella University, our game-changing FlexPath learning format lets you set your own deadlines so you can learn at a time and pace that works for you. It's an education you can tailor to your schedule. That means you don't have to put your life on hold to pursue your professional goals. Instead, enjoy learning your way and earn your degree without missing a beat. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
I think you're on mute.
Workday starting to sound the same?
I think you're on mute.
Find something that sounds better for your career on LinkedIn. With LinkedIn Job Collections, you can browse curated collections by relevant industries and benefits, like flex PTO or hybrid workplaces, so you can find the right job for you. Get started at linkedin.com/jobs. Finding where you fit. LinkedIn knows how.
¿Hablas español?
Sprichst du Deutsch?
Kan du norsk?
If you've heard that sound from Babbel before, I bet you do. Babbel is the science-backed language learning app that actually works. With quick 10-minute lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts, Babbel gets you on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. With over 16 million subscriptions sold and a 20-day money-back guarantee, just start speaking another language with Babbel. Right now, up to 55% off your Babbel subscription at babbel.com/Spotify podcast. Spelled BABBEL.com/Spotify podcast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Jacob Minter. Good job with the shot, and the Slough Jets have taken the lead on the power play. With the shot cross goal. No need for the save from Lorde, and Campbell finds himself in, and it's 3-1 to the Chelsea Chieftains.
Hello and welcome to Zero Pucks Given, the UK Ice Hockey Podcast. We're in partnership with the Hockey Art Co, hockey clothing for hockey people, worn by the best and hated by the rest. Listeners to Zero Pucks Given get a 10% discount off of everything site-wide at hockeyartclothing.co.uk when you use the code ZP10. There's on and off-ice clothing, as well as awesome band-themed jerseys and proper good casual wear as well. It's all great quality. It's all brilliantly designed. Get 10% off of everything when you use the code ZP10. We're also in partnership with Manscaped, the globally recognised male grooming brand that create such good products. Honestly, as a bald guy with a beard who's quite hairy in the body, I've always looked for wireless shavers that I can use that will actually take the hair off, that will leave a really good smooth finish. And these are the only ones. And they're waterproof, so you can use them in the shower. The blades are ceramic, so you can shave anywhere, no cuts, no nicks. Little light on it as well, which is really handy. They charge really quickly and they last for ages. You can get 20% off of everything from manscaped.com when you use the code 0pucks20 when you check out. You also get free shipping, so it's an absolute no-brainer to go and get yourself some Manscaped stuff. We are also on the Sport Social Podcast Network. This is the largest sport podcast network in Europe. It's got over 500 podcasts from more than 20 different sports, and we're absolutely thrilled that Zero Pucks Given and ZPG Ice Maidens are a part of it. Well, hello, welcome along. This is episode 148. I'm Ben, and this is Zero Pucks Given. Well, this is our second episode of the week. It's a little bit later than usual just due to scheduling conflicts, but we're going straight in for it. We are hitting it up with MK Thunder player Charlie Conroy. Welcome into the podcast, MK Thunder young gun Charlie Conroy. How you doing this evening, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. How are you?
Very good. Second time around there. I didn't hit record. Peeked behind the Iron Curtain. So, you're the second MK Thunder player on this year. We only had one last year, which was Mario Kiru, who's since moved on to Oxford. But I always like finding out what's going on at MK, because as a club, you've got a reputation within the league. But I think that's a massively misconstrued reputation of, like, you know, this whipping boys and this, that, and the other, people thinking you should take a step down. I can really, you apart from Chelmsford, everyone knows I follow Chelmsford. You are the club I've watched the most this year. I've come and commentated on your games. I watch your live stream, and I absolutely see what Will Fry is doing.
Yeah, you know, like, I've been at Thunder now this would be my third season. So I did 2 years as a prospect, and that's my first full season. And over them 3 years, you can really see the development slowly getting there. And I think it's like maybe in the next few years we'll start to see stuff picking up. And in training we're seeing like stuff come together, and I think we're really bonding as a group as well.
Yeah, which is one of the main things. I like what Will's done. He's got a good blend in there of the youth, but he's added the experience in, of course, the likes of Mark Austin, Don Wellthall, so they can do that side of the game that you guys should really be leaving alone for the time being. Yeah,
I know. I mean, it's hard with Sean, though, isn't it? He's one of the young ones that likes to get involved with stuff.
Sean's a bit of a loose cannon, isn't he, I think?
Yeah, it's funny. You can see him going. Like, I'm not sure if you saw the Cardiff one. That was an interesting...
Was that in your rink or down at theirs?
That was in our rink.
No, I didn't actually see that one.
Yeah, so kicked off a little bit, and Sean was trying to go for Joe Llewellyn. I don't think it was the smartest idea.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I've seen stills. I've not seen...
Yeah, it was really funny.
I may have seen a little bit of video, because there was an incident in that game, I think, where Barnwell got hit. I think it was by us.
By Ali. Yeah.
By Ali Barrow, yeah.
I was actually coaching that game because I done my wrist in, so I couldn't play.
No. So, yeah, I did see a few clips from that game, because wasn't there like 104 penalty minutes in total or something?
Yeah, so I think, because I know there was a bit of cross-checking going on. There's a few, I think, that incident with Sean and Joe, I know Ali Barrow got banned. He got a 2-game, I believe.
Was that for that hit on the boards? Because
no,
so in the game for that.
I believe it was for fighting an unwilling combatant.
Oh, right.
So yeah.
It was a crazy game. And like you say, when you've got, I mean, obviously Sean's been on here. We know Sean is a bit of a loose cannon, but Big Joe, come on, of all the people on the ice.
So I think Sean just went in for a hit. I think they got kind of tangled up with each other. Sean went in for seconds, and then I think it all kicked off a little bit.
Yeah, and to be fair, I mean, Big Joe's been on here as well. As much as he is a hard guy, he's a very respectful guy as well.
Yeah.
I can't imagine he would go swinging haymakers with a 16-year-old lad.
No, I think Sean, he was trying to, I think Ali was going with someone, or like put someone on the floor, and then Joe went over to Ali, and then Sean jumped in as well. So it was quite funny.
Yeah, I mean, the image most people could probably get in their head is Big Joe stood there with his hand out.
That is probably the best way to describe how it happened.
The head, and then just up. Yeah. We love the big rig. He's, he don't move too quickly, but good Lord, he moves. So, I mean, with that, as I said, the reputation that the club has got, there is also a physical reputation that the club has got, and particularly your young players, such as Sean and yourself, really, that where you're not afraid to get stuck in. Yeah, I mean, so like we have a lot of young guys that some of them have been, it's their second year seniors, but Sean, like coming in first year seniors, is doing like extremely well. I think that sometimes we get carried away with when we start getting more attacking against teams, we forget about the defending parts. Yeah. But that's why sometimes we struggle against the teams that maybe we could do well against, but we end up trying to think too much about attacking and less about defending. But that's the balance, isn't it? I suppose. Yeah. Will is striving to get into all of you, because there are times, as I said, I can see exactly what Will's doing. I can see, what the plan is, and there are times when you guys come forward that you look really good, like the passing's really slick, and you attack as a group. So, and the pass is all there to be on. But of course, when you attack as a group, when it breaks down, that's when to get caught. And I did, I watched the game with Slough on Sunday, and Slough are terrifying. They're the best side I've seen all season. I've seen them in their rink. I've seen them in Chelmsford's rink. I've seen them. Well, I've seen them quite a lot this year. They for me, they're the best team in the league. Yeah. So we were saying before the game, because I think the last two seasons mainly when I've been there, we've played these, Sloughs, Chelmsfords, Streatham. It's been like, this is we don't mind if we lose this game, let's just go out there and play well. But this season it's more like, let's go out there and let's try and prove something. Like personally, I think 6-0 against Slough for us is not that bad. No, I'd agree. Like from previous scores, like it's a big improvement.
And personally, I think it was one of my better games this season. But I think everyone really got well together. Even though we didn't get many shots, I think we kept them out to the outside really well.
I think you did, yeah. I watched Slough the night before in Chelmsford as well, and they were just, as I said, when they attack, they come at you from all angles. When they check you, they forecheck you in like a inverted prong.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
you can't clear down the edges, so you end up clearing down the middle, and then they're on you.
Yeah. We had two Canucks guys that came down and guested for us. And I was speaking to them, and they were like, "It's completely different playing, against Slough. Like, literally, because usually you have time with the puck and you can get up and have a little skate, but literally as soon as you get the puck, they're on you, and you get turned over, and they could go and score in 10 seconds."
But I can imagine actually that you guys are probably in agreement with what Will said in his coach's thoughts this week. That, as much as people would say that Slough see that game as a training exercise, I think it's the same for you guys, and agreeing with what Will said, because if there are elements of that game where you can compete with a Slough, it doesn't have to be on the whole game, doesn't have to be on the forecheck, doesn't have to be on the back check. If there's elements where you can compete, that is where you're going to move forward.
Yeah, so before the game, we had a game plan of going into it, and I think we were mainly focusing on not letting them into our zone and how to combat that. So I think it's because the week before we went over a training of what to do. So it's that, I think we're slowly getting into getting the systems down.
Yeah.
And we have like 3 or 4 systems, and they're slowly, you can see them in training and in games. In Swindon, one of our systems worked really well in the first period, but it's just keeping that going for the second and third. Yeah,
absolutely. And this weekend coming, I would imagine, obviously looking at us, when I speak to Lauren quite regularly, that when you're looking at the games, the top 5 or 6, you're looking at that thinking, well, they're going to be the games that we can work hard and try to prove a point. But the teams that are around you can pick up points. And you've got Romford away this week. You're surely looking at that one thinking, cause an upset here.
So we went, I think a few weekends ago, we went to Romford. And the start of the game was brilliant from us, I think. I believe we went into the second. We went into the second 1-0 down, and then went into the third 1-1.
Yeah.
But then I think it was just we ended up getting carried away. I can't remember the end score, but I think they started to run away with it a little bit.
Yeah, but again, Romford are a very young, fast team as well, with experience and structure. It's just such a competitive league, and it's kind of, that's where I've always disagreed, where I don't think that dropping down to NIHL 2 will do the Thunder any favour.
No, so, that's like a lot of people, because a lot of my friends obviously play around the league. Some of them have said, why don't you guys drop down and, get that bit of experience? But I think Thunder is mainly about giving that experience of National 1 to young players.
Yeah.
Instead of that National 2. So, Sean, maybe, he wants to play National 1, he doesn't want to play National 2, well, I'm not sure, I haven't really spoken to him about it, but I know that he wants to stay at Milton Keynes for a while.
Yeah.
I know quite a few other people do as well, the prospects, they want to stay at Milton Keynes. And personally, I would like to stay at Milton Keynes because, I live 15 minutes away from the rink, and it's been my childhood club. I've watched Thunder loads, and it's just it would be nice to see it through.
Yeah, and is it Project Thunderstorm? Is that what it goes under?
Yeah.
I think that's a great little setup. Between the juniors, obviously the Thunder, and then into the Lightning, if that's at all possible for any of you. I think that's a fantastic setup. And I must admit, one of the things I've always loved about MK is your colours.
Yeah, I like
teal.
Yeah, so my first year is the year we moved to the teal, and I really like it because I think quite a few teams in the league and around the country are red. So when we were red and black, I think Lauren wanted to change it up a little bit. Yeah, I really like the teal.
Yeah, it's me being a child of the 80s and 90s, it was the colour of it was the teal. So where did you get your start then? Obviously, I would imagine living 15 minutes from Planet Ice Milton Keynes, it was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, so I started just before the old rink got closed for restructuring. So I started then, and then I quit for a little bit because obviously the rink had changed and I was focusing on school and stuff. And then the rink opened back up, started learning to play again, and then just got back into Milton Keynes, been there all my life.
How did you find that as a youngster, stopping for a bit and then restarting?
It was weird, it was weird going from the old rink to the new rink because it was so much different. But I only stopped for a few months because I did do there was a temporary rink that I believe was in an old Asda.
Oh, really?
Or it's an old shop, and I did go there a few times. I know there was a testimonial that I think was held there, and I played in it a little bit because my uncle used to play, so he knew a few of the guys.
Was that also an inspiration into getting into playing, was it?
Yeah, so my uncle used to play for Milton Keynes. I think he played for Guildford a little bit. He used to play, but he quit when he was around my age. But he was. I'm pretty sure he did play for Thunder. I think he got a few points for Thunder. But he's old now, and he's
He's old now. I don't ask how old he is for you considering him old.
I think he's 36.
Jesus. I'm a little bit north of that myself.
Don't look it, don't worry.
Well, I went bald when I was 24, so.
Oh, blimey. Yeah, I'm lucky to have nice hair, so.
Well, something I used to ask the Chieftains players when they come on a lot, because there was a lot of lads in that room who took a lot of pride in their hair, was wear a helmet all the time is going to wear it out. Yeah,
so I know a lot of the guys, so Sean, I think when he first came on was when he buzzed his hair. And now Caleb's joined in, and they're trying to get me to do it, but I'd never do it.
I think hold on as long as you can, and then when it starts to go, you just need to give up.
Yeah, my dad's not got the best hair, so not got the best genes.
Oh, it could come from the other side. It could come from the other side.
Not.
I get my beard from my mum. It's a cracking beard. So you say, Milton Keynes sort of all your life. Did you follow the follow the Lightning as a younger lad?
So my mum as well, my mum and all my aunties, they used to go every week and watch the Lightning. So a lot of the old Lightning guys are actually like family friends. Like J-Mo knows my mum quite well. More of the like quite a few of the Lightning guys know my mum and dad. Well, not my dad, but my mum and my auntie. And my uncle I know played with quite a few of the Lightning guys. So it's quite nice. Ali played with my uncle, so it was quite funny when I found out that Ali played with my uncle, and it's like, he's still playing.
Yeah. But funny enough, actually, it's something that Sam Chima said when he was on last week, that when he went and trained the Stretton boys for a night because he was in the UK.
Yeah.
He said to me, I think it was actually off air, I can't remember, we spoke for a couple of hours and we only put an hour out, so that it's sort of like he was training them and looking around the rink thinking, I've played with all these guys like 10 years and they're still playing. It's obviously like an addictive sport when you're playing it to that level. Sorry,
I froze again. My Wi-Fi's playing up.
Oh. I said, because Sam was playing with training guys that he'd played with 10 years ago.
Yeah.
The fact that they're still playing just shows how addictive it is as a sport.
Yeah, I mean, like, there was...
There you go. Back.
Hello, yeah, sorry, my Wi-Fi's playing up. We just got new Wi-Fi. Yeah, Ozzy, like, he's been playing for years, and I feel like he knows everyone.
Yeah.
So it's like good. It's good to see that people stay in the game. Like I know, J-Mo, he played again for Chelmsford a few weekends ago.
He did, yeah. It was when he joined last year. Everyone was everyone was in the rink looking around. It was like, sure, that's Lee Jameson warming up. And they were like, nah, surely not. Like, no, sure it is. And then he obviously stayed with Chelmsford for a bit, and then he won the playoffs last year as well. And he did guess a couple of weeks ago. His level of calm is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I've seen him like the whole time he was at Lightning, and he's an unbelievable player. Like I remember playing against him last season, and it's just like he's so big and he's so smart with how he plays. It's just like really difficult to get past him.
I mean, is that something then that you would look at a player of that level to sort of? It's the rink IQ, isn't it? To to be.
So the guys, you can tell the guys that have been playing for a while and the guys that are kind of newer to the game. Like, maybe the older guys might not be as fit as the younger guys. Like Ozzy always jokes that he's older than us and we've got better legs than him, but the way he knows the game, and I think that's what, as well, Will's trying to do with the older guys is give us younger guys the knowledge they have. So I think that's, like, really good.
Yeah, impart the wisdom down. It's how it work with the combination of youth and experience. It should always work that way. I can see you've got a jersey hanging in the background there. That's not the number you're wearing this year. Is that yours?
No. So last year, so usually you have to play 2 years before getting your number as a prospect. But halfway through last season, Lauren and Elliot at the time decided that me and Sam Purcell should get our numbers. So I wanted to be 22, but so the whole juniors wanted to be 22. But Harry McGarvey obviously had 22.
Yeah.
And he was, there was that chance that I played up with him, and in my last few years I did play up with him. So I couldn't have 22, so I went for 24. But then that year, obviously we had Cam and Carter, and Carter's 24, so Carter had 24. So I went for the coolest number and went for 15.
but now you're in 24 this year.
Yeah, now I'm in 24. I think Sean wanted 24, but I got there a bit earlier. So.
And he went in half of that, didn't he?
Yeah, he went 12. Yeah, I think he's like 12. So he was like, yeah, I can't remember what he was telling me. I think he prefers 12.
I think he talk about it when he was on the pod. I think he did talk about his reasoning behind his number.
Yeah, so I'm born on the 22nd. And I just added 2 to it. So. Yeah,
to be fair, that's what, I mean, there's many reasons, isn't there, why people choose numbers.
Yeah.
Birthdays, birth years. You'll see a lot of the older players wearing 80-something on their jerseys.
Yeah.
That's certainly what's on the back of my Leafs one. But it's. I think it's a great thing actually that even at this level, which it is almost, it's not a pay-to-play level. Obviously, it is an almost semi-professional. It's the third in this country. It's an excellent quality to watch.
Yeah.
But for you guys to have that credence of having your name and your own number on your jersey. I think it creates this bond with the fans, and they can kind of appreciate the player a little bit more, seeing the number, the name, recognising it, and then having that little bond. And one of the things I love about the fans at the Thunder is it's such a family-orientated club.
Yeah,
love that the mums are there, the dads are there, and I think it's just terrific. And they're all cheering on, and they're great to talk to, but they're knowledgeable about the game as well, which is really good.
Yeah, so like I know. We have like a core fan base that's, can't remember how many people, but I know it was one of their birthdays, and obviously we let her come in and read the starting lineup. And I think it's difficult with the team above us to have like daily fans or like weekly fans that are going to keep coming back. So it's always good if we get a Saturday game. We usually get quite a lot of the Lightning fans coming down, but that Oxford game where we won, we sold quite a few tickets that game. That was a really good game, and I think the environment does help a lot with your confidence. If it's like scary going to Slough and Chelmsford, where you're playing against these almost sold out crowds, and I quite like Chelmsford because they play like the funny song when you skate out.
Oh, the Benny Hill song.
Yeah. We always joke about that, but I think it's it gives you that like having your name on a jersey and playing in front of, I'm not sure what the capacity is for Chelmsford and Slough, but playing in front of that many people is like, I feel like an honour.
Yeah, I think Chelmsford is just under 1,000. I think Slough's around the sort of 700 mark.
Yeah.
I mean, the incredible thing at Slough this year, I think it's changed since actually, that I was at the Slough versus Streatham game in November, and that night was the highest attendance in there for hockey that year.
Yeah.
Not just Slough, including the Bees. That's the high attendance, which I think it just goes to show the kind of exposure that this league is getting.
Yeah, so I think over obviously I haven't been in the league long, but over the last 3 years, I feel that's really picked up. But the level has really improved. Like you can see in the teams that there's quite a lot of National League guys actually coming down that are, maybe in the last few years of National League, but they're just going to come down so they can, spend time with, because a lot of them have kids, so they can spend time with their kids and with their family.
Yeah, they don't want 3 training sessions a week and a weekend.
Yeah, no.
Away.
Yeah. Going up to Solway every week or every other weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I talk about on the podcast quite a lot, actually, the National League players coming down. And it's almost like, I mean, last week watching Streatham against Chelmsford, it's like a cheat code. Their top lines is just...
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I know Chelmsford, a lot of their guys were from Lightning.
Yeah, obviously with Cliff being over there now.
Yeah, so Cliff used to coach me, so it's always like quite funny going playing Chelmsford, because Cliff coached me for 4 or 5 years maybe, and like obviously playing against people that I've watched growing up. I think that's really cool.
Cole McCluskey made the jump recently, didn't he, from MK?
Yeah.
But how do you think he'll fare at that level?
I think he'll do well. Cole's one of them people where, you know, I've played with him every other year, because he's a year older than me, or most years if I played up. And he's one of my really close friends. It was hard when he left. I'm going to miss him. But I think he'll do really well. I think he was struggling with confidence in Milton Keynes. I think he wasn't playing his best game. But I think he'll do well over there. I think he did all right in the second game against Streatham. I think he was telling me that he had quite a few shifts and he did quite well. Yeah,
he's quite a tenacious two-way player, so he can help out at either end, and he does put himself about, which, in all honesty, that's what fans want to see. They want to see him around.
He's one of the best players that I've played with. Like, he's so quick. Like, his explosive speed. Like, you'll be looking at him, you'll look away, and he's gone. He's really good.
What sort of success did you have with your juniors at Milton Keynes? Because there's always been quite a long line of success coming out of Milton Keynes.
Well, so obviously when Nick Paul was there, I don't really remember. I think we used to be, because there obviously used to be 3 junior leagues. We were Division 2 for a lot of the years. And we would finish top table. It was like, alright. And then one year, I remember it was us and Haringey. I think we both lost 1 game each, and it was against each other. We went to the playoffs and we actually won. So we got promoted into Division 1.
Yeah.
But that year wasn't very successful. I think we won 1 game, and it didn't go too well because everyone left that year. So as well. So a lot of guys, like under 14s, under 12s. When I was playing, we had quite like a lot of good guys. Like we had Ollie Nags, Dan Martin, Nick Martin, I think Peter Brunel. We had Vinny. We had a lot of good people, and I think everyone kind of left to Peterborough. I think some people left to Bracknell, and it kind of left that like massive gap. And it was like me and Corey Taylor that was left, and we struggled that year. But we've definitely picked up in the last few years. I know in the last few years I've won 3 Sheffield tournaments, so that's quite good. That was in the Division 2, so... Yeah.
No, that's terrific. And that must give you that little bit of hunger as well for when you're playing as a senior for a little bit of success.
Yeah, I wish I would have... I'm not too pleased with my senior career so far. I wish I would have done better. Like this year I've only got 1 goal. I wish I was hoping to at least get like 3 or 4. But, it's just not gone my way, and I've had a few injuries as well. So
yeah, there's still time, and like I say, you've still got to play the teams around you at the bottom as well.
Yeah, so I think we've got Oxford, Cardiff left.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, the table is clearly split into 3 groups, but each of the 3 groups are incredibly competitive between each other, which makes it very exciting to see. I mean, last week we had 4 overtimes and 3 shootouts in one week.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Absolutely mind-blowing. It makes it a bloody nightmare for me to write it all up
I know.
on a Monday.
Yeah, like we split we have the Chelmsford, Slough, Streatham are like the teams that we want to compete against, but we might not get the result we want. And then we have like the Gosport. I know the second game in the season we went down there and we actually went up.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
We
took the lead, I think, this year.
Yeah, so as well, like I think it was. Yeah, like we've taken the lead against some of these teams where, they've got more experienced guys, but I think we're not consistent enough to keep that going. So I think that's just because we're a new team. Like, if I look at the team from last year and the team from this year, there's 3 or 4 faces that are from last year's team. So it is a completely new team if you think about it.
Yeah,
so it is
and that's
difficult
basically Hayden, Mark, and Dom, I think, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And obviously, Bradders, he's still here, and me, Sam, and Caleb.
Yeah.
So that's really about it.
Yeah, no, but you've got Will signed on for the next 3 years now.
Yeah,
so.
that's really good, I think. Like, I think what he can do in the next 3 years will be really good for the club.
Yeah, and I think having 10 teams in the league, I think that's going to change again in the next year or two as well.
Yeah, I reckon, because I think, I know Peterborough are having a really good this year, so I wouldn't be surprised if they make the jump up.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem being really is those teams in the 2 that have got teams that play either National League or Elite League is getting the ice time to come and play.
Yeah, so, we only train once a week. But I try and jump on with the juniors when I can, because I'm technically still registered for under 19s.
Oh, right.
So, so I try and jump on, and I've got my temporary level 1 coaching certificate.
Oh, bro.
So if they need a coach, I know I've coached the under 16s a few times, and I played a game for the under 19s this year. So
is that something you see for yourself in the future, perhaps?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I did do like sports leadership and sports science in college. I really do enjoy it. Like, especially like my younger brother, seeing him improve and seeing people improve, I think is really good. Like, I might not have the best knowledge, but these people that are younger, if they have this knowledge from me, like I'm a bit older, it can give them that little boost. Like, I remember Cliff used to run these like skill sessions, and I got invited to them, and it was like all age groups, but it was like the top people from each age group, and I feel like that was when I really turned my like level of hockey, because playing with these people at a higher level, I think I improved a lot more. Yeah,
and like I said, I think that's probably what's going to happen with possibly Peterborough, possibly Haringey as well.
Yeah.
Coming to join the league. I mean, everyone would love the away trip to Ali Pali. I absolutely love that rink. I think it's incredible.
Yeah, I think it's really it's hot. It's really hot to play on. It's not the most fun. Like, I remember going there in juniors, and I actually threw up in the changing room because it was so hot, and like we had a game before in Cardiff, so it was like a really just horrible day.
Yeah, it's one of London's iconic venues. I know when I shared a few clips and pictures from the playoff finals last year, and I had people in like America and Canada going, "Oh my God, where is that barn? It looks amazing."
Yeah, it is a really beautiful rink, and I think I prefer it now that they've got the flexi up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's a lot better now.
They just need that at Oxford now. Then we'll have a.
Yeah, that is one of the painful bits about. So like, I feel like a lot of the rinks in the UK as well should get a bit of money to maybe improve on, because some of the rinks aren't the best.
No, I mean it's an entirely different conversation really of how ice hockey is governed and the funding that goes into it. But I mean, rinks wise, I would be surprised. I can't count them now off the top of my head. I'd be surprised if there's more than 30 ice rinks in this country.
Yeah, I reckon there's a lot of ice rinks that have ice hockey. Yeah, there isn't many.
No. And that's the problem.
Yeah, so I mean, like, if we add like a few more rinks, because my next closest club is either Peterborough or even Coventry, and that's still quite a trek for me. That's about an hour and a half.
An hour and a half in either direction, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
So it's like, it's one of the difficult bits. Like, when you look at Canada, like, they've got rinks that are 5-10 minutes away from each other.
Yeah, it certainly is part of the problem. I always joked actually that ice hockey probably missed out on quite an incredible player with me, because I lived just a little bit too far away from a rink when I was growing up, and after seeing the Mighty Ducks as a very young boy, I wanted to. I was like, I want to have a go at that. But yeah, I lived just over an hour away from Chelmsford at the time.
Oh, yeah.
We're now talking, early 90s, so the roads weren't quite what they are now.
Yeah.
And yeah, being brought up by a single mum and whatnot, I couldn't afford to play the game, and I don't think that should hamper anyone from playing the game. Yeah,
so I think it's one of those sports where it's an expensive sport. Like, if I look at my kit now, it's over £1,000.
Yeah.
And now that I've grown up and I'm over 18, I have to pay for myself, so it's not the best. But my mum and dad, my brother's playing as well. So having two kids that have equipment, and nothing's cheap nowadays.
No.
Like sticks are £300, skates are £700-800. It starts to definitely add up a lot.
Yeah. And the stick can just break like that.
Yeah. So like I had a stick, had it for 2 weeks, snapped instantly. So it was one of the things where, but it's like I think there needs to be more equipment available for for youth.
Yeah, absolutely. With the learn to play and stuff, I would imagine there probably is loan equipment that they can use to try it with, just to give them a go. But as we said there, the lack of facilities is the first problem, really.
Yeah, so like ICE at MK is really difficult. Because obviously Lightning I think they train 3 or 4 times a week. And then every morning and every evening you have the figure skaters. So it is really difficult to find that ice time.
That's they have to do what actually makes the money as well, which is...
Yeah. So a lot of the times, like, we won't, there'll be a figure skating show, so we won't be able to train. So it's one of them really difficult things. We only we have an hour and a half a week. But I think is, it's good. It's better than an hour. But I think if we want to take our step up, and it is difficult to do it with only an hour and a half.
It is, absolutely. I mean, and just training that once a week. I think Solent have to do that as well. They can only do it once a week, and I think that's why it's quite remarkable that this level is as good as it is. Yeah. With the limited time you guys can practice and the limits on ice time. It's certainly a testament to how hard you all work in those small periods. Yeah, I mean,
if you look at if you look at Elite League compared to National 1, it is a massive jump. It's like Lightning when they went up. I don't think they did the best, but there was still that massive jump of I think that year they went up, but half the team was different. And I think that's one of them things where that difference between National League and Elite League and National 1 even is huge.
Yeah, I think, and that's something the Elite League need to combat because they've got 15 imports and.
Yeah, I think I saw a post about that the other day that they're thinking about lowering the imports lots.
Well, that's the only way that they're really going to progress British talent.
Yeah, if you look at the under 18 and under 20 squads at the moment, there are some really good names in there.
Yeah, the GB18 squad released just today.
Yeah.
World Championship, names that have played in our league: Max Van Mullen, Ben Clark-Leach from Swindon, Brindley Caps and Joe.
Joe Thompson.
Yeah, there is legit players. I mean, as a player, around that kind of age level, what did you make of the bench clearance brawl against Romania?
So I can't remember, but I remember Lauren messaged into the group chat saying it was a bench clearance, and I think it was it's one of the things where frustration might hit you a little bit. But I think personally, my opinion, I think I can't remember what team they were playing, but the other guy started it.
Romania, I think Romania probably did, yeah.
Yeah, one of the guys body slammed one of our guys, but I think it's quite funny to see Archie going around just killing people. That was quite funny. So
he started that very young indeed.
He's a nice guy off the ice though.
He is a good kid. He went for Brandon Miles when he was 16.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to one of the Lightning guys about it the other week because I've just moved to a visor. So I was I've been joking that I'm going to fight people, but it's not my scene.
Yeah, 16. None of us could believe it. Even when I spoke to Brandon couldn't believe it.
Yeah, he's one of them guys where he's big. He doesn't look big, but he is I know that he does. I'm pretty sure he does boxing. I'm not 100% sure, but he does do a lot of stuff off ice.
He's a strong lad. Even just shaking his hand and saying hello. And
I played him in the COVID Cup, and he sent me flying. So.
I mean so with the GB stuff, with the junior setup, and as we said there with the bench clearance and the frustration, do you think that Ice Hockey UK or England Ice Hockey, whoever may be looking after you at the time, are doing enough for you guys as international players, both physically and mentally?
I mean, I never made any like England or GB. I know I went to England trials last year, but I mean I think I think we are slowly getting better. I think because someone's been appointed as the director of development, I think, and if you look at his like elite prospects, he's coached a lot of good players through the years.
Yeah.
So I think slowly it'll get better. I think it's just the more inclusiveness. I think we need to do more for the younger kids. Because when I was younger, I didn't really do much other than train. But I know nowadays there's more like Ozone. They do the jamborees for the younger guys. But I think it's the more of the
strength and conditioning.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's an ex-Guildford Flames player. Can't remember his name. But he does a lot of the strength and conditioning at Ozone.
Yeah.
And I know that my brother, he did some of his strength and conditioning stuff, and he loved it. Like my brother's in the gym every week, and it's crazy to look at the young guys.
Do you like the gym?
I'm a bit of a procrastinator myself. Yeah. I try and go. But,
so much easier if you like it. If you like the gym, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah. When I'm like when I want to go, I enjoy it. Like I have fun. Like, I'll be there for an hour. Like, but when I'm like, oh, do I really want to go? And I force myself to go. I'll be there for like 30 minutes.
I'm actually going tonight. After we're done here, I'm going.
Yeah, I went earlier today. So.
And it's like, I mean, and always I kind of joke with my wife because I mean I'm 40 in July. I've been in shape.
Yeah.
And I've been out of shape. And I always say I'm much happier out of shape.
Yeah, like, I love my...
I was miserable. Well, I say I was miserable. I think I was hungry. I ached all the time because I used to box.
Yeah.
And I'm only 5'8", so I had to try and keep as light as I possibly could.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm always hungry. I'm always aching, always tired. And I think I'm really miserable. But my wife's version of it was you were really up your own arse and couldn't walk past a reflective surface without looking at yourself. So you must have been quite happy.
I think it's one of the things that I love. I love food. Like, my mum's always telling me off. Like, I'll get a chocolate bar from the shop, and that'll be gone within 2 days. But I think it's if you're eating right, and I think, but that's one thing that I feel like not many people do in National One and like lower leagues is eat well and look after themselves.
I think there was a few. I noticed that. We did actually. I'll tell you what, I'm going to end up regretting it as well. When in January, I went to the Canary Islands for a week. My mum and dad live, and I was out one night with him having a beer. And Richard Harris had posted a video of him training Connor Redmond, the Slough kid.
Yeah.
And I'd shared it saying, Richard Harris keeping the rest of the league fit because he's done things with Brandon Miles as well, and he does his own stuff with Invicta Dynamos. And then we started talking. And we then started talking about perhaps I would go and do a session with him. We'll record it and then we'll have a chat. And I'm thinking, and I'm sitting there having a beer thinking, I'm really going to regret this.
Yeah.
I think he might kill me. But, I mean, there is guys that are taking it really seriously. And I think for the reason that because they have a job and a life, if they're not in the best shape, this game can break you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I feel like, my first season, I tore my rotator cuff a tiny bit. So that was, but I didn't rest it and I didn't do the right stuff to continue it. So that was a reoccurring problem. But I think a lot of teams, like especially in ice hockey, need physios and need like that help. Because I was talking to a physio and she was like, every time you make a hit in hockey, it's like being in a car crash.
Yeah.
So it can really take a toll on your body after a few years.
Yeah, I mean, I'll coin Nicky Watt's phrase on it. It's not a contact sport; it's a collision sport.
Yeah, it's fun, but it can be a bit painful sometimes.
Yeah, we had a few questions come in on the Instagram. Again, I always say I'm not massively technologically au fait. I'm sure that some more do come in, and I probably missed them. But we have got one, and I've only got usernames, and I can't really read some of them, but I've got Ivo Getansky.
Oh yeah, that's Ivo. Yeah, he's one of the prospects.
Is he? Who is the most annoying member of your team?
Oh, Ivo. 100%. 100% Evo. We always joke about it. He just talks random nonsense all the time. Like it's like I know at training the other week he had a good talk to someone about sardines. It's just one of them things where
high in protein and omega-3. He must be eating right.
he is an interesting child. He's funny though sometimes.
I mean, you guys have actually been doing, a fair bit of like social media stuff recently.
Yeah.
And I did see a video of you all discussing about a zombie apocalypse and who you would pick to go with. Did you also pick Dom because of his big truck?
No, so I picked Ali because Ali's a bit of a hothead. So I feel like Ali, if a zombie would bite him and he would end up beating them all up. Then after I said that, I realised, Dom's got a truck. I should have said Dom. So I think Dom would be the best choice out of all of that.
Yeah, I'm yet to meet Dom actually, and he's one of those players I think that if he doesn't play for your team, you just think he's a prick.
Oh yeah, honestly,
I bet he's a diamond off the ice.
Off the ice, he is the nicest guy ever. You can have a nice laugh with him. He's funny. I know, he plays video games, so a few of us have played with him. I don't know, when COD first came, the new COD I think it was, everyone was playing it with each other. Really nice guy off the ice. On the ice,
he's a terror.
Yeah, in training, because I'm not a big guy, it hurts when he hits you sometimes. He's a steam train.
He is, and it's kind of like it's a role that's needed in every ice hockey.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so we have obviously Ozzy, and Dom, and even when Jules is there, Jules is a really, I think Jules is definitely one of our best players when he's on form, and when he's there, we always joke that he's never there. So that's quite funny.
Just gonna reset this. Clicking in my ears, so I've just managed to reset that. I'll have to edit that bit out. Moving on then, we knew that a question would come from Sean because he suggested about you coming on.
Yeah.
That's when I put a little thing out. So he wants to know, is Caleb Sheehan the best goalie of all time?
I'd say he was pre-haircut. Pre-haircut he was, but now I feel like he's fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say he's actually been one of the most impressive young goalies this year.
Yeah, he is. So I feel like how old he is really underappreciated. And he's only been playing for 5 years, maybe. And for a goalie, I know a lot of goalies have been playing their whole life, but he's not been playing ice hockey for that long.
Yeah, he is astonishing. I know the last time I come up to the Thunderdome when Chelmsford played up there, I think he only played the first two periods, and I think the score may have been, I think it was 12-0 after two.
Yeah.
But I think he'd saved 48 shots or something.
Yeah, he is really good. In training, because I help a lot with the goalie stuff. Some of the saves that he makes are, incredible. He is real, and he's one of the guys where he won't get, if he lets in 12 in the night, he won't mind because he's saved quite a few. If he has a bad performance, he'll know and he'll knock himself down about it. But I think definitely he's up there with one of the best goalies that I've seen play as my age.
Mm. Yeah, I would hasten to agree. I think he's got a really, really big future in ice hockey.
Yeah, definitely.
Terrific goalie. And we've got another one here. I can't quite make out what the username is. It's LXWICS5.
Oh, yeah, I think that's my brother. Yeah, he's...
It was going to say, what does Charlie think about his brother? So I'm assuming this might well be your brother.
Yeah, he's really good, I have to admit. He is...
Is he younger than you?
Yeah, so he's 15. He's a part of the Thunderstorm. He's second year 16s, and he's just it's crazy what he can do. You'll see him playing up. I think last season he finished 1 point ahead of me in under 18s. But he is he'll get the puck behind the net, and he's about a bit smaller than me, but he doesn't look big.
Yeah.
He's just so solid, and he's just, some of the stuff he does is incredible.
Do you have a sibling rivalry?
I think we used to. Now, a lot less. I think that it's as we've both gotten older, I feel like we want each other to do well. and I love seeing him score. And I was coaching the under-16s the other day, and he made an incredible hit, mid-ice, just killed the guy. And it was just I remember he came off that shift and looked at me and was just giggling. But it is, he's been in England a few years. I think he made England this year. Yeah, he's doing really well for himself.
Well, a couple of years maybe then you'll have you both playing in the Thunder.
Well, he's eligible next year to play, so maybe we'll be on the line together.
There's a lot of brothers actually in the division already that play.
Yeah, no, there is quite a few, yeah.
Yeah, mostly on the same teams as well, which is...
Yeah, I know the Bartletts.
Well, the Bartletts and the Lordays at Chelmsford.
Yeah, the Lordays, yeah. But the Bartletts, they're not fun to play against.
No, you know what, they're both really, really great lads, actually.
Yeah.
They're Grant's more the talker than Cam.
Yeah.
But it's brothers playing on the ice together is very, very good to watch. Because there is definitely a sixth sense, possibly more with them because they're identical twins.
Yeah.
But it's, I think it's great to see brothers having that kind of relationship on the ice. It's, I've got a younger brother. We had tremendous rivalry growing up playing football or cricket or whatever sports we were playing. We did play a little bit of street hockey, because we had the street right outside. We didn't have an ice rink, so we played a little bit of street hockey. And yeah, I think it's great to see brothers now sort of coming up and playing together. And I get that opinion from a lot of people that Bartletts are not the greatest guys to play against because they play the game very hard.
Yeah, they're like one of them people that you'd want them on your team, but you want to play against them. Yeah.
I do know of their slap shots breaking ankles in training.
Oh, yeah, I remember when we played away, I got put on the PK, and it was just it is just crazy how strong they are.
Yeah, it's like you say, as a Chelmsford fan, it's so great that we've actually got them. We don't have to play and worry about it too much. I know there was a similar sort of thing with the Webster boys when they used to be at Invicta, but they've been away for a little while now.
I've never heard of them. I'm quite new to all the.
They did sign. I think it was it not last year or the year before. They did both sign at Chelmsford. And then I'd heard that they'd moved to Italy for work or something, and they weren't going to be playing. And everyone's kind of got both the Websters and both the Bartletts in the same team. That could be, that could be.
Yeah, I mean,
fireworks.
Yeah, I love playing with my brother. Playing under 18s with him, it was incredible. I'd get the puck and I'd look up and I'd just see him, so I just know that that's going to be a goal. But he's just so he can get into them positions where people won't notice him. His shot as well is incredible. It's close to mine, I'd say. I think mine's a bit more accurate, but.
Do you follow the big show out in America? Do you follow the NHL?
Yeah, I do a little bit. I try to. I watch weekly updates on them.
Yeah, go on then. Who's your team?
My team is the New York Rangers.
Go on then. What's the reason behind that?
I think it's my first ever jersey was a Nash jersey. So yeah, my first year I was just stuck with it. I know my brother is a Bruins fan. And he's the only reason why is because he got a Marchand jersey.
Oh.
And that's the only reason why he's number 63 as well. So.
Nah, I won't use the F word. I like to keep it relatively PG on here, but fuck Boston.
You're a Toronto fan, aren't you?
Unfortunately so, yes. Yeah. I tried to explain to someone a couple of weeks ago when I was in Spain actually, and they asked about hockey, and they were like the NHL, and I said, oh yeah, I follow the Leafs, and they were like, well, what's that like? I said imagine supporting football in England. It's like supporting Tottenham. Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, and I'm an Arsenal fan, so. Yeah, they promise so much and deliver so very little.
Yeah.
Snatch defeat from the jaws of victory as they go along, but it's unfortunately, I think I'm kind of stuck with it. I can't remember who I was telling this to actually. The last one was on. I was in Anaheim in '95, but it was the season before the franchise started, so I never got to see them. So the Ducks are kind of like my second team. One because of my love of the films, and two because I was in Anaheim the year before it started. But I saw the Leafs in '02, which I mean before you were born.
Yeah.
But and I kind of stuck with it ever since. And I've not been back out there since. It's been like 23. It's actually in a couple of weeks. It'll be 23 years exactly since I was out there, and I need to get out there because since doing this, I've now sort of made friends out that way that I would love to go and see. Particularly Sean McMorrow, the sheriff who played over here briefly. I'd love to go and see people over there and enjoy the hockey a bit more, but it's my wife can't deal with the cold too much. So she says, right, well, we could go to Canada, but we've got to go in the summer. I'm like, well, what's the point in that?
Nice little outdoor rink.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I think it still looks quite the same, actually, skating on the rink outside the front of Toronto Town Hall. And it's got like this big concrete over the top of it. It's an absolutely incredible city, is it? Yeah,
I'd love to play out there like for a season, or because I remember I went to America, I went to Florida.
Were you watching a camp in Florida, or?
No, I just went out there on holiday and watching Tampa Bay. It was just like, it's like one of the things where you'd love to be there. It's just like you're playing a sport you love, and you're getting paid to do it.
Have you had the opportunity to do any camps abroad?
No, I actually have not. I've mainly been Milton Keynes based. I've done all the Milton Keynes camps. I think me and my brother were thinking about doing a camp abroad when we were younger, but I don't think we never got around to doing it.
I don't know if you've listened to the Sam Chamber episode from last week. Sam's now coaching out in Sweden.
Yeah.
And he's looking at putting together camps for British kids to go and train in Sweden, 3-4 day camps. And he's saying it's peanuts.
Yeah.
To fly out there and stay there is literally peanuts for 3 or 4 days. And it's just getting it on there. And he's like, he says same as Canada, rinks are like 5 minutes apart. And Sweden, we've got that Four Nations coming up very soon. Haven't we?
Yeah, that'll be good.
And I think they're going to start making big plays in the national scene.
Sweden's one of them countries where they've got a lot of talent, but they might not get the recognition for it.
No, well, I mean the way they work out there, Sam was telling me, is incredible. With all the clubs are 51% fan owned.
Yeah.
And there's you guys as juniors, you would play junior setup until you were 16 or 15, depending on how good you were, and then you go straight into what they call hockey gymnasium, and it's basically just hockey, and a little bit of school on the side.
Yeah. I wish
the American setup.
Yeah, I've spoken to a few people that have played in Canada and Austria and places like that, and they said it's some of the best times of their life. They've really enjoyed it. They improved loads. They'll go out as an okay player, they'll come back as a really good player. So I wish I would have had that opportunity, but unfortunately I didn't.
There's still time. There is still time. You've got a lot of life left ahead of you.
Yeah.
And speaking of a lot of life left ahead of you, is that a sword on your wardrobe behind you?
No, yeah, it's a Lego sword.
Oh, it's Lego.
Yeah, I got it for Christmas. I got it for Christmas. It's a Lego katana.
Yeah, it's not a real ninja thing.
No. Yeah. Oh, I couldn't be trusted with one of them.
To be fair, this is the reason why my camera is around this way, because my computer used to be on the other side of the room. So I would green screen a picture of the shelves behind me instead of having this side of the room, because this is where all my Lego is. Yeah, I love doing Lego. It is a nice little side thing to do. Yeah, me and my daughter really enjoy it. We've got a lot of Harry Potter up in that corner and some Star Wars over there, and I've got some Star Wars lightsabers up. Yeah. And some comics and things like that. Because this is my room where I'm allowed to eternally stay a child. It's my Peter Pan room. I wish I had one of them rooms. I feel so old already. It's much harder to get when you have your own house and your wife is in charge. It's much harder to have a room to yourself. Yeah. Well, dude, thank you so much for giving me some of your time. We've actually ended up going for nearly an hour. It's been really, really good chatting to you. As I've said, I've got so much time for the Thunder and everyone involved in the club down there. I really do wish you guys the best for the rest of the season. I'll be looking forward to getting more 3 points on the board. Thank you very much, yeah. And keeping an eye on how it all goes down there. Obviously, Will gives his thoughts in every week. He's unstoppable with that. He's normally well over 4 minutes as well, so he's always got a lot of thoughts, which is fantastic to hear. Yeah, Will is a really good coach. I remember, I think one of the times he was actually recording the video was on the way back from somewhere, and he actually hit a deer on the way back. Hey.
So I think that was either before or after that he sent that in, and we were all joking about it the next day. So
they can do some serious damage.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we saw the car the next day, and half the car's missing. So.
No. Well, Charlie Conroy, good luck for the rest of the season, mate.
Thank you very much.
Injury-free, and hope you have a really good one.
Cheers, thank you.
Cheers, mate. A massive thank you to Charlie for joining me on the podcast. We had no idea we were going to be speaking for that long. Good lad, got a lot of chat. Really does enjoy talking about the game as well, which is exactly what we want to hear, especially from the young players involved in the game. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode. This is the 30th of January now where this is recording, and tonight the results are coming out for the Sport Podcast Awards. We were nominated. I kind of bugged everybody for a couple of months about voting. We don't know the results as yet. They'll be shared as soon as possible. As this podcast is out, the result will be out there. So I really, really want to thank everybody that voted. I've got no idea where we finished. I don't know. We'll only find out if we made the top 3. Other than that, we won't know anything. But everybody that voted, I cannot thank you enough. Everybody that's been listening to this podcast since the very start, when I bump into people in the rink and whatever rink I'm in, they just say the nicest things. I thoroughly enjoy doing this. I plan on doing it for as long as I possibly can, and as long as anybody wants me to do it. So this is now Friday that this episode is coming out. Saturday night, if you are not going to a game, get on our YouTube channel, 0 Pucks Given, and come and watch Hockey Night Live. I will be taking you through every single game that is happening on Saturday night across the National Division, North 1, South 1, North 2, South 2. Goals as they go in, penalties as they happen, all the details live on screen, scores scrolling across from the National, the North 1 and the South 1. There's not quite enough space to do all 5, unfortunately, but I will keep you up to date with all of those games. Save you scrolling through social media. Let me do it. I'll do it all in one go. I'll have multiple screens going, watching one stream, following this, following that, and we will bring you everything. Really am looking forward to giving it a go. Come along and give it a watch, and if you do like it, please let me know. And if you don't, please let me know, because it does take an awful lot of work. And if it's not something people want, then I won't do it. But I can't wait for Saturday night. Really looking forward to giving it a go. So make sure you go subscribe to our YouTube channel and then check out Hockey Night Live. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
You're a startup founder. Finding product market fit is probably your number one priority. But to land bigger customers, you also need security compliance. Obtaining your SOC 2 or ISO 27001 certification can open those big doors, but they take time and energy, pulling you away from building and shipping. That's where Vanta comes in. Vanta is the all-in-one compliance solution helping startups get audit-ready and build a strong security foundation, quickly and painlessly. Vanta automates the manual security tasks that slow you down, helping you streamline your audit. The platform connects you with trusted experts to build your program, auditors to get you through audits quickly, and a marketplace for essentials like pen testing. So whether you're closing your first deal or gearing up for growth, Vanta makes compliance easy. Join over 8,000 companies, including Y Combinator and Techstar startups who trust Vanta. For a limited time, get $1,000 off Vanta at vanta.com/simplify. That's VANTA.com/simplify for $1,000 off.